Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is mark off where my frame is going to go. So I'm composing to the actual size of the paper, of what the paper is going to show if I were to choose to frame it, and not clear to the edges. Every time I say to myself, I don't need to do this, I'm always sorry. So what I want to do when I start my drawing is, like, I composed it, I went outside, I took the pictures, I composed things, then I recomposed them in the studio with Photoshop or just photos. And now that was my composition stage. And now when I start my drawing, this is also a composition stage, just to see how everything is going to fit. So I don't want to draw anything in a really finished way yet. I just want to put in the big shapes and divide the painting up and see if it's going to work kind of like I thought, or if I need to change things. This is Roger Williams Park, and it's in the part that's the Asian, well, I guess it's actually really a Japanese garden. And there's a lot of different kinds of fir trees and pine trees. So I thought that was cool, that I wanted to be able to see if I could do different kinds of trees. And things like this, I need these to see if I've got enough space, really. Like this one, I know it has to break the top of the line there, and I just need to be sure that everything, but I might just paint right over them, because this is going to be shadow on the snow, and then there's going to be shadow on the snow here too. And most of the water is in shadow. There's a little piece of snow here. I do really like to work on an accurate drawing, because the longer I work on my painting, the more pain in the neck it becomes if my drawing isn't very good. But so you want to draw enough that when you start your color, you don't feel confused, but you also don't want to be in the position of where you just feel like you're doing paint by number. Things change as you go along, and you might want things to be a different way than you thought they were. I do find it's easiest to, to have things be as much like what I'm looking at, to do as much like, have my painting be as much like what I'm looking at, rather than having to change a lot of things. But, I know that I don't draw it perfect, so. And I just can't this fast. But if you find that, when you're working and you're trying to put colors in certain places and it's just not working very well, then you might think, oh, maybe I needed to draw more next time. Like, I feel like I can't make these trees fit in here like they're supposed to, but we'll just see. Okay, I just want to get all of that. Okay, so I'm ready to start my color, and I probably want to start with my lightest light. And in this case, the snow is definitely lighter than the sky. So I'm going to start with my snow. I'm not going to start with white. White's going to be the last thing I'm going to do, because once I've gone all the way to white, I can't really go anywhere, and I can't add any more colors. So I'm going to try to see whatever color I think I can see in the snow right away. And this is kind of a pink. And I did draw those reeds in, but I'm going to paint them out now. I'm just going to make the snow, and then I'll come back and add them later. So I drew them in to help me in my drawing and my composition, but I don't want to have to go around them. And I think I can do it, especially if I spray it. I think I'll have no problem. Okay, so there's my snow, and it's tempting to do more work on the snow, but I'm going to let it go for now and put in my other colors. And I think I'll go with the sky next. I usually don't fool around with the sky. I just try to have enough blues that I can pick something that's going to be pretty representational of what's there. I don't want my sky to be muddy, and a lot of times if you start with a dark blue and then you try to put a light blue on top of it, you get kind of a milky sky, and so I don't want that. And now I'm coming right up over the edges of my, where I drew in my little composition line. I just want to go ahead and go right to the edges of my paper so I don't, because after you spray, it changes the colors if you haven't gone clear to the edges, so it's kind of always a little different. And I think what I'm going to do is, no, maybe I won't. Like the sky, the snow to me compared to the sky, the snow and shadow is slightly purple. So I'm just going to start it with purple. And I know I've said many times that on a sunny day you don't have much purple, but you know, that's just a suggestion, not a rule. And it's a suggestion for when you're in trouble and you need to try to figure out what's going on. So, you know, I'm not going to leave this so purple, but I did just want to make it different than the sky. And I am kind of like concerned about what the heck to do about the snow that shows through the trees. I know I do not want to have to try to put the tree trunks in and then do the snow, but I also don't want to get so much pastel back here that I can't put the tree trunks in. And I'm going to use a slightly different color. It's sort of a light blue for the snow back here, just to help that go back more. Okay, so far I've used 1, 2, 3, 4 colors, and now I'm going to find my really dark blue, and I'm going to use it to do all these trees that are in the shadow. And then, you know, I realized I think I'm going to have to, when I pause my video before I work on it a second time, I'm going to have to do something about this area because I can't really even see at all what's going on. It's just so dark in the photograph. So, and I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and do I think it's a bank, but I'm honestly not even sure. And then this is water. Oops, I need to actually draw a couple more. I didn't even see these guys, but I do want them. I was kind of worrying about this one up here being all by itself, but there are some other rocks that has snow on them. So I'll put them in. Before things get too out of hand. All right, and the water, all the water seems like it's mostly reflecting these reed things that I got rid of. So I'm gonna just going to go ahead and start the water with an orange color. I guess that's water up here too. So. And there's this big rock that's and I need my snow color to put on top of my rocks in shadow. Okay, so, oh yes, and then I need something for up here. So that, I'm going to go ahead actually and use the orange for that tree that's in front. And I have a tree back here that's a little bit in the light. And I got that rock back there too. Don't exactly know what I want for that rock, so I'm going to do this next. I can't find anything for the rock. Okay, this is not really right, but I'm just going to use it anyway. This is that Indian red. And I have to tell you, this is an example of me doing what I think will work instead of looking and seeing what is there. I just thought, well, that would be kind of a first shot with that color. And then there's something back here too that kind of goes like that. So I'll get that in there. Okay, hard to know what's going on. And I'm going to go ahead and put some more of this up in here. Oh yeah, and something's got to be over here too, right? So that's kind of more of that sort of orangey, light side of the pine trees. There's kind of orangey. And I guess I need a little shadow side on that tree too. Okay, so now I think what I want to do is put in those clumps of reeds, and I'm going to start them darker than I plan for them to end up. And I'm using, I don't know what I'm using, something that I cannot read. Oh, Mount Vision. I'm actually just using it because it seemed like it was exactly the right color. But another kind of convenient thing is that it's a little softer, so I'm not having any trouble putting it on top of the snow so far. Okay, and then down here I've got some more of these guys, and they're really dark. God, I don't know. I don't know if I could put them in later or not, but I'll just kind of put where I think they're going to be. Just right on top of my dang rock, showing me I didn't draw my rock in the right place. And there's some over here too, but I think I'm going to wait on them. And there's some stuff back in here too. And some little dark ones along in here. I guess that's a rock right there. Wow, massive confusion, right? Okay. All right, and then the water, I think, has got some purple in it. I can find some purpley thing that's dark enough. Well, that's actually, it is a purple, but a lot of times purples, really dark purples, look super gray, and that's not what I wanted. And that's too light. So here we go again, the problem of not having a dark enough purple. You know I usually talk about making the water follow the horizontally and all, but it looks so vertical to me that I'm just starting it this way, and then we'll see what else happens. Oh, and I covered up that, which I shouldn't have. Let's see if this is dark. This is not water. Okay, and I want my water. Do something about that orange so it's not so. Okay, and if you think I am not anxious right this minute about what the heck is going on here, then you don't know me very well, because of course I'm anxious. Looks like a big gobbledygook mess. But here's the thing, the more of a mess it looks like, the easier it is to make it better, because it's so bad. All right, so I'm going to come back with some blue now. So basically, the shadow on the snow is just straight up reflecting the color of the sky. And whites are one of my favorite things to paint, because they show you the actual color of the light. So if you ever kind of wonder, like at sunset or late in the afternoon, just look at a white thing and you'll really see exactly what the light color is for the sun. And if you look in the shadow, you'll see exactly what the color is for the sky. I just wanted to draw it in a little more. And white is such a good place to actually see that light and shadow are completely different from each other, that you can't, I mean, how would you make light white and dark white? You just can't. You know, a lot of times I've seen people actually use black in their white and shadow. So what you want to see, you really can see on the white the difference between where sun shines and where sun does not shine, which is any flat plane, though, is catching a ton of skylight. So the verticals tend to be darker because they're not catching light from the sky so much, whereas the horizontals tend to be lighter because they are catching light from the sky. Okay, so I want to do something about that, but I don't know what. I guess I'm going to use this sort of yellowy white. And it's not like I'm not going to use white, probably. I probably will. But I want to save it, keep it in reserve, and it'll be the last thing I do. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can lighten up the sky without making it look milky. And yes, I am kind of drawing here. Okay, so I think that's better, but I don't think that's quite it. That funny noise you can probably hear is my heater. It's really cold in here. So that might be okay for along the edge of the sky, but I don't want it really up higher. So I'm just going to come back and might be okay for more along the horizon because it is a little lighter. But I don't want it to be too light. Okay. All right, so I'm going to add some green to these trees too. And I am, as usual, actually working on this Pastel Premier paper. But I think this piece, they sent me some that's different. I still haven't got around to figuring out what it is that's different, but it's cut from the big sheets they sell, and I'm just thinking they must sell more grits in the bigger sheets. So it's a little more gritty than the ones that come in the packages, and I do like it better. So I'm going to try to order it next time. Right now I have a ton of paper, so I can't really order it yet, but next time I run out or starting to run out of paper, I'm going to order these sheets that have more grit because I like it better. Okay, and there is some sky reflected in the water here. It's not all so horribly dark. And I'm just going to keep going here until I okay, so that's not light enough. That's supposed to be the snow there on that rock. So you see, you've got all kinds of like things you have to figure out, like, oh, did I just make the water too light? Because now I can't make the light on the snow, which is in shadow. I can't make it light enough, or I can't make a difference. So you just, a lot of times you just don't know which way to go with stuff. I mean, what I'm trying to say is you don't know, do I need to make this darker or the other thing lighter? It can be really hard to know. So you might just have to try both. But just remember, there's always that other alternative of if you can't make something light enough, then maybe it's that the other thing isn't dark enough. Maybe there's more purple in the water than there is on the snow on the rocks. Okay, you know what? Let's see. This is a really light pink, even lighter, I think. Okay, so things are starting to get a little mushy up here. Not quite ready to spray it. I do try really hard to keep kind of an even amount of pastels everywhere. I don't want to finish some areas too much and then spray it and have all those areas that I finished too much kind of knock right back down to being not so knocked down by the spray. So I keep working at all of it at the same speed toward the finish right now. And yeah, same speed. Let's see, what are you? No. Not really either. Try this one. No, no. Okay, well, so sometimes just the only way to get things darker is to spray them. And that's the nice thing about that really dark blue. It just, when you spray it, it gets really almost black. I think maybe I'll put in some of the tree. No, I'm just gonna wait one more time on the tree trunks. Just a little more light on the tops of those trees back there. Oh, I kind of gotta tell you, I dread going outside to spray this thing. It's really cold out for here. I've become a wimp already. I wondered how long it would take, and now I know. It took 2.5 years to not be a rugged Vermonter. All right, so see, I messed that up because the trees have to be darker than the sky. All right, I'm going to spray it. Well, this spray situation is a little problematic in the winter. Even the main thing I'll remind you is don't leave your spray in the car because then it comes out in big globs and it's a nightmare. But maybe you can see it's still, it's not as fine a mist as it is in warmer weather. Okay, so I think I'm going to come back to the sky first because the sky looks the least right to me, especially because it got so dark when it was sprayed. I need the trees to stand out against the sky. So I'm not only looking for the color and the value. Value is part of color, but I'm really trying to see how, not only how colors relate to each other, but how different things silhouette against each other. So yeah, I'm just worried that's going to be too light. That is kind of the thing after you spray it. Sometimes you can really, even if you use the same color, like I wanted to use something different, but the thing is it's been sprayed. So now using that same color looks really different. And I got that little, okay, I got rid of it, that's good. And I'm going to use my sky to try to do a little shaping of the trees. Holy cow. Okay. I still would like to use a different blue, but you guys seem to be the same color. So, and I'm not pressing very hard here. All right, well, is there anything else I could add to the sky? This is green. I had a teacher once that told me never, ever put green in the sky. You see how well I listen. Okay, and then I'm going to work on the trees again, and they're just not dark enough. No, I think I'm going to try something else in those trees. Something like red. Holy cow. All right, well, luckily I have another piece. So I'm trying red, just also this will be another example of me trying to do something I think I know to make something look darker instead of really something I'm observing. And now I'm pressing pretty hard on the dang thing, so. Yeah, the trees just aren't dark enough against the sky, so I just guess I'm going to have to bite the bullet and try to go lighter in the sky. The sky seems so cobalt blue. It does not really seem cerulean like I know. I'm getting it more of a greenish blue. You know, if you don't, I just feel really strongly if I don't have a time during my painting where I just am, you know, sure all is lost, I never feel the same way about my paintings, that I don't go through some sort of horrible angst over. And I'm going to put in some of those trunks in charcoal. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Everything just rolled off the edge of my table. Okay. Yeah. And I'm just kind of working down from the top because I'm comparing each thing I add, I'm comparing it to the last thing I changed. Maybe I froze my brain out there, and that's the problem. My fingers are definitely frozen. But I definitely have I've decided that it takes 2 sprayings to get things to be a kind of surface that I feel like I can really add to. Like I've already got this pretty gunked up now. And you know what? I think I'm going to use white, but I'm not going to use my soft white yet. I'm just going to use a white. Yeah, so I'm just trying to make it better. I keep worrying I'm making it worse, but I am trying to make it better. So basically, I'm just trying to get it all covered again. I'm working a little longer in each area than I did the first time over, but I'm not bringing anything, you know, to any kind of finish. I'm just trying to make it better. And, you know, definitely, I know I'm going to spray it again. I don't know. I'm putting these in now just kind of to see, but I might not be able to keep them here. I might have to come over them again. All right, and I still have no idea what's going on right here. Just something super dark. Wow. I'm going to make the sky lighter even. Just see if I can. Okay, well, I was wishing I could work longer, but I just think I can't. So I think I'm gonna, oh, well, I could, there's a few places I haven't actually come back and touched these little shadows of the snow. I mean, I don't think I can work on it longer without spraying it. And I think I'm going to wait and spray it on a warmer day and see. I think maybe that was part of my problem here, is that it just, the spray didn't give me as much of a surface as I like to have. So I wasn't able to work on it as long this second time over. I've gunked it up too much already. Oh, I wonder if I can really make that look like that, like some of the light is shining on those reeds here as well as on the snow. All right. All right. I'll call it quits for now, and I'll be back later.